screen share. So now it's not seeing you, it's seeing what's on my screen, and it's just as simple as that, just starting the Hangout and pressing that screen share. Now it's recording everything that you see is everything the live audience will see, and it automatically records everything and uploads it to YouTube, and that's on the document that I passed out. Now what I had Ann do is come in and type in her Pinnacle School address here because it's a Gmail address. It's part of the Google Apps for Education. And she wasn't here Tuesday, so she doesn't have the Doctopus information, didn't go to her. And I know that this school, you have a lot of kids coming in and out, and like, okay, so what do we do when we have a kid come in? You can just quickly enter their name and email information in here, go back to your Doctopus add-ons, open up your Doctopus, and if you weren't here Tuesday, this isn't going to make any sense to you, but if you go back and watch the video from Tuesday, it'll walk you step by step through how to do that Doctopus. And so now that I have that Doctopus turned on, I can go back into my setup, and I just want to do step 6. I don't have to go through all the steps. I just do step 6, and what that should do is it should send that document to anybody I've added. It's not going to resend it to everybody else, but it will send it out to whoever's new in my class. And I can always come in here and take out a name too once a kid moves out. So it's really easy to go ahead and just update that information. Yeah. I also like it too, and I didn't mention this to you guys last time, but right here with the Doctopus, when you're ready to grade the assignments, if it was something you actually sent out for grading, you could put embargo docs for grading, and that will keep the kids from making any further changes or revisions to their assignment in their Google Drive. So you can embargo that, and then if you want, you can unembargo it so they can make revisions to it after you've done an initial walkthrough of their paper.
So it has to be an all or nothing, like either embargo all of them or none of them, or can you embargo like a few or whatever? Like if,
you know what, I don't know.
So I couldn't see a time where like certain kids they're due when you want it to group.
You might,
like a special ed kid to give them a rewrite on.
Right. I bet you could take those kids and you could have them in a different spreadsheet. That's probably what I would do with those kids, is put them in a different spreadsheet. Yeah. All right, so anyway, but that's not what we're here to learn about today. I just wanted to show you how if you did have somebody come in later, you could easily just add them on in there. And the slideshow that you're going to be looking at today should already be in your Google Drive under the Shared With Me documents. That should already be in there with your last name, first name, and that is Alex, the Alex PD session. How many of you are already familiar with Alex? Okay. Alex is a really great resource, and I wish that I had known about Alex when I was a classroom teacher. Of course, it wasn't around back then because that was the early 90s, 1992, when I was in the classroom. But it's such an awesome resource, and you can simply go to any search engine and type in Alex, and it will usually come straight up for you. Or you can type in the entire website address there if you want, but just like with AVL, I'd rather have a little shortcut. So you can just type in Alex, and it should come up the first thing, the Alabama Learning Exchange. So we're going to go in and take a look at this. Really? It took me to the Alabama Virtual Library. I'll have to fix that. All right, so Alex. So right here you can see we have several different things. I don't use all of these. Like this professional workspace is a really cool space, but I have so many other workspaces I have to keep track of. This is just a whole nother workspace, and I'd rather just pin what I need or bookmark what I need, what I find on Alex, than start a whole nother workspace. Alexville, I don't really exactly know what Alexville is. I know that each one of these little houses takes you to something else, like professional organizations, PLC, podcasts, different things. So each one of the little houses will take you to a different thing, and if you want to explore that, you can. The podcast treasury, this is where, kind of like what I'm doing right now, where I've recorded this lesson. It's where teachers and students all around Alabama have recorded different lessons on different topics. So you might find something in here that you could use with your class. so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I hate reinventing the wheel. If I can find something somebody else has already made and I can copy that, I'm going to do it. I'm like, I'm not making anything original if I don't have to. So you can go in here and notice you can look at content. So if you need something for math, you can click on math and see what other people in the state have made, if there's any podcasts in here. And it shows you what school it was made from, and usually when you go on into it, it will also show you the teacher's name and so forth. And that's a good way to go ahead and learn some of these teachers who are doing these things and make some of those professional connections and networking with those teachers. But we're going to start right here with this course as a study, because you know everything's run by that course of study, right? So you can come in easily and search your course of study. Who wants to throw out something we're going to search? All right, science? All right, so we're going to click here on science. Oh, well, you didn't speak up. All right, and what science do we want? Do we want something K through 8, or do we want anatomy? Or all right, so let's click on biology and see what they have. And so what this is going to do is it's going to pull up lesson plans for us that are configured to the course of study. So right here we can see, let's see, how about describe cell processes? And we can see that there's 18 different resources. There's no learning assets. Learning assets are websites or digital resources that can go with that lesson. There's 6 lesson plans with this. There's 1 podcast, so you don't have to go searching everywhere. When you get to that lesson plan, it's going to tell you. And then right here it says there's 11 web resources. So I don't know why it says learning assets is 0, because we see there's web resources. So let's start by just looking at a lesson plan here, because there's 6 different ones. And we can see some of these are from gyms. And you know, those are going to be very reputable sites. And that's one thing I love about Alex is, you know, that they're not just crap lesson plans that some idiot has put out onto the web. They're really quality lesson plans that come from very legitimate education sources. Like this one is the ScienceNet links. And so you have several different ones. So what looks good to you? Do we want to do acid stomach? All right. Right, looks nasty. That's why I picked it. And so you see there's the title. You can add a bookmark if you want to. It tells you this is for grades 9 through 12. It can be done for that. Also has a brief description of what this lesson plan is about. So now we can go in and actually open up that lesson plan. And I love that it starts out with everything you need. It tells you the purpose, the context, what type of motivation can you use for your students. Here's whole discussions that you can have with the kids, has the questions already laid out for you. Here's the development of the lesson. It takes you step by step through how to teach the lesson, what to do first, second, third, and all these links. For instance, here's the lab. So you have a simulated stomach lab, and so you can go there. It gives you all the materials and procedures that you need. Oops. I'm not getting the back key. Let me go back in and find that. Go back into stomach acid. If you notice too, it also has the worksheets that you'll need, any activity guide, has the lab activity sheets, the hands-on things. So for instance, here's the worksheet you would need for this, and then you'll be able to download the worksheet that you have. So that's what I love about it, is because it gives you absolutely everything you need. You don't have to go looking 100 different places for, okay, so where's the worksheet? Where's the lab sheet they're going to use? Where's this? Where's that? It's all right there together and clickable. So you just go there and you have everything, all your materials and everything that you'll need. And usually down at the bottom they have extension activities, and some of the lesson plans also have like behavior problems. So if you have difficult students, I think sometimes is what it's named. It'll have suggestions of what to do with difficult students. Not that you guys would need that here at all, right? That's the courses study, if you click on that particular link. And so now, I think I just got out of Alex again. We can come back in. All right, so the learning assets, again, this is from what I understand, and it's, let's come in because I had the definition down. Yeah, learning assets is strategy that a teacher chooses to actively engage students in learning a concept or skills using a digital tool or resource. So let's look in there and see what they have under there. All right, so did we want math this time?
Yes.
All right, and what grade level?
9.
Let's see what they have. And what do we want? Algebra 1? Algebra 1. Let's see if they have anything. So they have opening, lesson core, and closing, and let's see if there's any results. All right, so for this particular one, there's Graphit. So let's see what that is, and that's a digital tool. This was written by Rochelle Adams in Tuscaloosa City. Right here's the web address of what she's saying to use, and then it matches the content standards, tells you what the learning outcome will be for the students, and then it goes through and tells you like what's the Bloom's taxonomy, what phase of learning it is, what's the activity, what type of preparation will you need in advance. So I love that it's all set up for you already. And of course, you're never going to follow somebody else's lesson plan exactly the way it is, but it's enough there so that you can go ahead and tweak it to fit your class and your kids. And so here's the digital resource that she's wanting her students to use for the graphing. And you can see here's some examples of what you could do with this digital resource. So that helps you find those digital resources a little bit faster. All right, lesson plans. Very similar to what we were looking at first with the course of study. Everything's going to be matched up. We'll go ahead and do math again. We want to do grade 9 and algebra again and see if they have something more than graphic. All right, so we do have a lot more now than just the graphing. Remember that graphing was there because it was that digital resource, that learning asset. So let's see. What do we want? Yeah. Zero product property, transforming types of energy, rational exponents rock. How about rational exponents rock? All right. And so again, we can see this is written by Ms. Watts from Bessemer, Alabama. And again, it's going to take you over everything. Has an annotation, your content standards. I don't know how long y'all been around, but back in the day when I was a classroom teacher, we had to write in our lesson plans what content standard it met. Do you remember having to do that mess? Oh my gosh. Oh, it was horrible. What your lesson objectives are, what type of materials you need. This even tells you like approximate duration of this, so you know if you're on a block planning, maybe you could fit this whole lesson in. If you're in, you know, one of those, 45, 50-minute courses, you might need to split it into 2 days. So it helps you to know what you need. It tells you the background preparation students need before starting this lesson and gives you those links as well, and then procedures and activities. So right here, teacher's going to present the lesson with Math Magician using Yay Math from YouTube. Wonder if YouTube's blocked.
Yeah.
For some cats, this is today's experience.
All right, and so then you can come in and show this to your kids. And if you had a learning management system, then you could just go ahead and put these links into your learning management system. I know some schools are using Moodle, some use Edmodo, some use Schoology. So there's lots of different learning management systems. So you could go ahead and take these links and put them into your learning management system as well. And so this one's talking about the kids using the laptops and entering the websites, and then did it? All right, come on. Well, I don't want to do that.
Close. It has a place to close it right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Oh, isn't that clever then to hide it? I'm an old lady. I cannot see those little things. My reading glasses are on top of my head instead of where they should be. Yeah, it's not going to let me close it out right now. So, but as you can see, it's got all the different, now it's frozen up my computer. It has all the different components in there for you to be able to use. So you've got lots of different things to choose from. Oh, this has a lot of different things for Algebra 1 you could use. Peanut butter. My peanut butter is better than yours. Do you think your kids would like something like that? This is from a middle school. Meets a lot of those standards as well. Look, you got peanut butter and saltine crackers. This is fun. They get to learn math and eat. I would like this lesson. I know. Let's do that. Make sure they have a peanut allergy. All right.
And then we'll follow up with a lesson on anaphylaxis.
Right? See? You get combining math and science together, right? And then
I'll write a paper on it, which goes into English.
right, they could write a paper on it. See?
Then you have to teach them how to clean it all up.
There you go.
Here's homework.
Janitorial services.
Well, that goes into chemistry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So down here you can see that it shows you attachments. So here's answers to the worksheet. Here's a quiz that you can give them. So they've already made quizzes for you as well in a lot of these lesson plans. And all your worksheets and different things are right here and clickable for you to be able to just go to. They have extension activities, remediation if you need that. And right here, dealing with inappropriate behavior. So let's see what they say. So here's some suggestions. And you're like, no, that's not going to work with our babies. But here's assisting the reluctant starter, attention, time demand. Right? Y'all are nuts. I keep getting out of this. Well, I'd like to do that too.
I'm never going to use this stuff.
I think it's Compass. Yeah, Compass Learning. It's a learning system.
Because some of them, like for the science, you say that they're anti-proof.
Right.
And that's just another.
Right. It's just another thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, search is exactly what you would think. It's just a regular old search. And professional learning. So this is where you can get some professional learning without having to go to a place. You could sit at home and get professional development at home over several different things. Like if you like some of the Google tools that I've shown you and you want to learn more about Google, you could click where it says Google Tools and there would be PD on there. I don't know about all that, but I don't know. Plugins and downloads. So,
All right, now what was that? Was that a search you did? Or
professional learning.
I see.
And like sometimes they'll have broadcasts, for instance, library media. This is what I would use. I would have First Fridays, and so the first Friday of every month I would come in here and I would click on First Fridays, and I can watch these links if I miss the PD session, and it has the STIPD number in there as well. And so I suppose you could put it in and then just contact that person who's in charge of that session and let them know you watched it and see if they'll give you credit or not. So I usually just put it in there. I've never had any trouble getting credit for it when I've done it. So now what we did last time on Tuesday is I wanted you to have time to explore, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to explore. But what I want you to do is while you explore, I want you to bring up in another tab this URL. And that's a O, a lowercase o, right there. And last time we used what was called Padlet so that students could tell what they learned so that everybody would have a voice. No one person, the clown in the room, being the one who gets all the attention, and then that poor kid who you don't even think has vocal cords never gets to be heard. This is just another way to let kids interact, and it's called Today's Meet. I'll go back to that where you can see it. It's called Today's Meet, and what it does is it's just another way for students to be able to participate in a conversation in the classroom. You can have it open for a day, you can have it open for an hour, you can have it open for a week. You get to choose how long you want that to be open. So has everyone gotten there to the Today's Meet? All right, so I'm going to click on it so that you can kind of see how it looks. I made Miss Griffin test it. You can see she's saying, hey. So you'll just start by typing in your name. Click join, and then here's where you can type your message. So if you find something, a great lesson plan, while you're looking at Alex, you can just copy and paste or type in, and then after you've typed in whatever you want to say, you just click on the word say. All right. So, and then I just do that. And so it's up here, and now I can continue to talk because it knows me as Nikki. See? So I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to go ahead and search the Alex site, if I can ever get back to it. Look for some of the lesson plans. Because it's specific to that link. I haven't put that link out for anybody but you guys to see right now. Unless somebody's watching live, which I did send it out to the whole world to be able to watch this presentation live if they want to. So, if something happens, but most of the people who follow me are professional educators. So I don't expect anything horrible to happen or come up there. So I'm gonna, and if it does, then we'll just go, oh! All right, so 10 minutes to let you explore and ask questions about Alex and to post anything onto that Today's Meet that you want, because I always like to give you a couple of extras besides just what we're learning about. So I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. But you've had some of those lessons where you're kind of just like, I'm stuck. I don't have a clue what to do with this lesson or how to teach it, or what I might do as a little extra to give it a little boost. I see Sarah's found a postcard creator over there. There's lots of fun English and writing activities. She found a stop bullying. What? Stop bullying.
You know how Hendrix likes to bully me? I have to stop.
Can I become a part of the Stop Bullying Club?
Yes, you can be part of the Stop Bullying Club.
From Hendrix?
Hendrix is the biggest bully here.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes, literally and figuratively.
I believe that's the way to help it.
That's what I believe. You don't need to flirt with me.
Yeah, just open up a new
I don't know what
tab
that's
and just type in
But
Alex.
Jones, he can flirt with me.
And just whatever you want to look at, and then share with us some cool places you found under here. And so you can choose source of study, lesson plans, learning assets, however you want to go about it. Because the learning assets is going to limit you. I usually go under lesson plans or course of study. Are you finding that stuff? Right? No. Now you know about it, so you know what I'm trying to do. And I love it because all these resources are free too. That's the other thing I love more than anything.
Me too.
Right. One thing I'm always asked when I present is it free? And I'm like, honey, I've been in education 22 years. If it's not free, I'm not doing it.
I suspect, are we gonna be able to see any deals that pop up on here?
Don't know, are they coming
Right.
to you or what?
Actually, it was in here.
Like,
Yeah.
Eric, and I had it in my classroom. She's having a compatibility issue.
That's why
Already downloaded it. Sorry, Slade.
watch it not now. It works now that you're here. Just stand right.
Yes, stand right
there.
And don't move, yeah.
Everything in this one
Teacher tube should be.
search keeps
Because it's not even associated with teachers.
My Barracuda, I can't do. So that's probably why it's locked. Question. Question.
Yes.
I want to search for something and it came up to this.
I love that you know the difference in real places.
Kitty.
I like the air better.
We're missing some birds.
Which one do you need?
That was almost like it's.
That might have changed. Maybe when the teacher made it.
They just put your name right there.
Science.
Put your name in there.
I got under lesson plans and resources. Put down there on lesson plans and resources. And click on science. And then click the grade level. And then if you want to narrow it down. So smart. See what comes up there.
All right, I'm right here.
Yeah. But I also feel scratch. We do. Profit with all that. Oh, okay.
You don't have it.
I know you probably weren't going.
All right, don't forget while you're searching Alex to flip back to the today's meet and share anything you're finding. Notice how you can click on these links too. Maria's shared a Zoo of Death. What? That looks pretty cool.
Create your own zoo of death.
Right? Sarah, is that for real? That's for real?
Yes, it's an article. It's hilarious.
Zoo of death.
That's hilarious. Girl, I didn't even recognize you. Dot. That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, if you can get a clever title to catch these kids' attention. So funny. I know, I haven't done any of my updates because I'm out of space. God replied, girl, I didn't even recognize you.
You gotta go to the top. You gotta go to the top.
That's hilarious. God, is my time up? No, you have another 43 years, 2 months, and 8 days to live. Thrilled with the news, the woman decided that after she recovered, she was going to get into shape since she had so much time left on this earth. As a result, over the course of the next 3 years, the woman had a facelift, liposuction, and tummy tuck. While walking to her car after being released from the hospital following her latest operation, the woman was hit and killed by an ambulance. Arriving in front of God, she demanded, "I thought you said I had another 40 years. Why didn't you pull me out of the path of that ambulance?" God replied, "Girl, I didn't even recognize you." That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. But see these cute things that you can share by having something like this up? I want to look at that Zoo of Death too. That looks really cool. Today is Hampton Day. Woo woo.
Good reason to be mad. What's that about?
Here, I'll put it back up. Yeah, today's meat. Well, let me see. Here you go. You got it?
Sixth grade.
And I had this particular today's meet up for a week. So after a week, it will go away. So if there's anything you want to keep, any links that people have shared, you might want to, copy those and email them to yourself. What is it? Yeah. Is it not letting me? There you go.
Alexville News. Huh.
What is that, Alexville News?
It was I went through the,
Oh, down here under Alexville?
yeah,
What color house was it?
red.
Visit Alex Amsty. Learn more about gyms. I think a lot of these are like networking. How to stay together and find other people. They pull in Thinkfinity. Thinkfinity is one of the main supporters of Alex. If you're not familiar with Thinkfinity, it's really awesome too. But they pulled a lot of things from Thinkfinity into Alex.
Awesome.
Okay, I don't know how to.
All right, so our timer is up, but you guys are doing so well. I'm going to set the timer for 5 more minutes, and then we're going to have to come to a stop.
Do we have to?
I know, what? And let you go home. All right, who need a cup?
I love it.
And the slideshow from there should be in your Google Drive. And everything there should be clickable. Okay. Except that I put the wrong thing for Alex. You got it. I'm analyzing comic books. That'd be cool. Oh, you need to put your name there first.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need to know who you are, Ian.
What? See, and then you put something like Ann, and I was like, who's Ann? That's right. Yeah, click join. And now you can put your message. And press enter. For some reason that's
Here we go.
what? What'd you
I
find?
found it.
What did you find?
Fishing for a living.
There you
Oh,
go.
my
Social
goodness.
You can take the kids out.
Geography.
Take
Oh,
them
yeah.
fishing. Thank you for coming.
Oh,
I
I
enjoy your
weekend.
weekend.
I just put
one on here for you.
Oh, what you put on there for me? Show it to me. Joy or picture? Are you Joy or picture? Right now, I think it's Joy. In the morning, I'll be picturing fit.
I'm sorry.
I was Brianna.
Oh, that one, he's doing all of it. He's doing all of it.
This Griffin needs to see this.
Sorry, look at it. But remember, today's meeting will only be up for a week, so if there's some things that you want to email to yourself, go ahead and just copy and paste them into an email and email them to yourself so that you'll have them. Of course, the recording will always be there.
Oh, I can't do this one, it requires scissors.
You can't use the little kid rounded scissors.
With these kids, what's wrong with each other? They'll find something.
Hey, here's
It's
one
like Orange is
for
the New Black.
it's social studies, but it's also something that can be done
I gotta watch that.
Indonesian.
That's exciting.
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen it.
That's good.
Yeah, this is an English assignment. But it's a good one.
Well, if it's a good one, share it on the today's meet, and maybe Sarah will see it and go, oh, yeah, that is a good English assignment.
Sarah.
Sarah.
We don't know each other's first
Oh, I'm sorry. Who is that?
This is the one, are you jumping for joy or pitching a fit?
You find some good stuff. But, you know, imagine combining this with the Alabama Virtual Library to help support the research as well. And you've got a really good combination of it.
Thank you for coming back to sit the grandbaby, so.
I understand. You got the gist of it. And the whole slideshow should be in your Google Drive. All right. So, guys, I'm going to let you keep searching, but I'm going to come through and just finish this up. Do know that the video of everything we just went through is here in that slideshow that should be in your shared resources on your Google Drive. So you can always go back and watch that video, fast forward, rewind to where you need to go. Plus, you always know how to get in touch with me. I'm always on Twitter, and I have my Twitter account set up so that it text messages me if you use my Twitter name. I'll get a text message so I can get back to you in a timely manner. And, of course, Miss Griffin knows where to find me as well. Yeah. But I hope that you enjoyed this. You learned some things. And so I'm going to go in, pull up this video that's still recording. I'm just going to stop the screen share. It's going to come back onto us. And we're going to stop the broadcast now. Notice down here are the links. I didn't show this to you before, so you could embed a video you make, get the URL to your YouTube or to the events page. You just copy and paste that onto your website, your learning management system, whatever. I've had coaches use this. They'll record their classroom or do after-school tutorials and record it and put it onto their website for the kids to be able to have access to.